Alright guys, so today I'm going to be showing you one of my all-time favorite card tricks using just 4 cards. So basically, we have the 4 aces here, and I promise you these aren't marked in a way where I can see them without looking at the faces. So trust me, believe me there guys. I could shuffle up the deck a little bit, and then if you were here you could pick a card, let's say like this one. It doesn't really matter which one it is, but I'm going to be showing you guys. I promise you I'm not looking at the card. I'm just going to be showing the camera here. So this is going to be your card, and let's say you put this in the middle somewhere, and if you were here I'd let you shuffle it up so I can't see where the card's going. And also I could also turn my head a little bit, and I really wish I could prove to you guys I don't know where the card's at. So let's go ahead, I'll look through the cards and I'll see which one you guys happened to pick. So I'm going to guess you guys picked the ace of diamonds. Now guys, I promise you this isn't some sort of camera trick. I'm not doing something to cheat you. This trick is really simple and really easy, and you guys will be able to do it, so make sure to stick around for the tutorial. Alright, so here's how you guys are going to be able to do the trick. So like I said, the good part is that it's not difficult at all. Once you understand like the concept, it's going to be so much easier. So essentially you can use any deck, any aces, and it doesn't matter, they're not marked or anything. So the big thing here, what you're looking at, here's kind of like the secret. So essentially the cards are, you're focusing on the middle of the pips. So you only care about these 4 things right here, and what you want to do is, the first thing is you want to imagine the ace of clubs as coming to a point right here. So imagine the ace of clubs, it's formed like this, and this is kind of like a triangle, and the point is pointing that way, just like the ace of hearts here, the point here, it's pointing downward, and then you have the ace of spades, that's pointing upward. So you want to make sure these 2 cards, the ace of clubs and the ace of hearts, are pointing in the same direction, with the ace of spades pointing in the opposite direction, and the ace of diamonds obviously doesn't matter because it's kind of neutral. So you square all these up. It doesn't matter what order the individual aces are, it just matters that they're facing in the direction they should be. So the ace of clubs, ace of hearts, both face down, ace of spades faces up, and it doesn't matter about the ace of diamonds. So from here you could have the spectators shuffle up the deck, because it doesn't, like I said, doesn't matter about what order they're in. So let's say they shuffle it up, they give the deck back to you, and they can pick any card. So I'm going to go through one by one the different scenarios. So let's say they pick the ace of clubs, so you don't even know what card they're picking. So let's say they take the card out, and here's basically the move. So the spectator, and most likely this is what they're going to do, they're going to take out the card, they're going to be looking at it, let's pretend they're over there, they're going to be looking at the card, and they're going to give it back to you without twisting it. Okay, so they're not going to be taking the card out like that most of the time. So let's say they're holding the card, they're looking at it. While they're looking at it, you casually just go ahead and pivot the deck and just flip it over, so all these cards are now flipped upside down from where they were before. The spectator, you could tell them, okay, go ahead and put it back, and this is when you can turn your head and they can put the card in anywhere they want, because they might just think that you're looking at where they're putting the card. So let's say you close your eyes, you turn your head, they put the card anywhere they want. They can shuffle up the deck as long as they're not flipping the cards or anything like that. So let's say they shuffle the deck up, they give it back to you, and now this is what you have to look for. So we don't know, let's say hypothetically we don't know what card they picked, but what you're going to be looking at are the way that these are shaped. So the first thing I advise you to do is look at the ace of clubs and ace of hearts first. So the decks face up, you're looking at these 2 cards. If these 2 are now, as you guys can see, they're not facing the same way, so we have the ace of clubs pointing downward and the ace of hearts pointing upward, you know they picked either the ace of clubs or the ace of hearts. Now remember when I said we're going to be using the ace of spades, like the reference card, whatever card matches the direction of the ace of spades, that is going to be the card they pick. So like I said, here these are 2 facing different ways, this is down, this is up, and now the ace of clubs is pointing the same direction as the ace of spades, so now you know they picked the ace of clubs. Alright, so we can go ahead and redo the setup. We have the ace of clubs facing up, matching with the ace of hearts facing up, and the ace of spades is going the opposite direction of these 2 cards. You can square these up, you can have the spectator shuffle it up, and now let's say they were to pick the ace of hearts. So you spread it out, ace of hearts, they pick the ace of hearts, it doesn't matter which way it goes. Now let's pretend that the spectator actually twisted the card as they turned it out. So let's say they picked it up from the deck and they looked at it, they saw it themselves. You won't have to pivot this deck 180 degrees because they've already twisted the card for you. So let's say they twist the card for you, you don't have to pivot the deck anymore. You close your eyes, they put the card wherever they want, they can shuffle it up. And you look at it, you say, okay, you get the deck back, and now you can see that the ace of clubs and the ace of hearts are not facing the same direction anymore, so you know they picked one of these cards, and now you look for which card matches the ace of spades. So as you guys can see, the ace of hearts is pointing down, the ace of spades is pointing down. You know they picked the ace of hearts. So now let's say if they were to pick the ace of spades, you would know they picked the ace of spades because all three cards would be matching. So let's say they were to pick the ace of spades, they're looking at their card, you're making sure to know if they've twisted this card yet. Let's say they haven't twisted it yet, so this means when they give the card back to you, before they give it back, you have to make sure you twist this deck. They give this back to you, you don't know what it is, let's say the ace of spades though. They go ahead and they mix it up like this. You take the cards back, and now what you do is you're looking again at that ace of hearts, ace of clubs. Now if you still see they're pointing the same direction, you know they have not picked one of these cards. And then you look at the ace of spades. Now if they're all pointing in the same direction, just like this, they're all pointing down, then you know that they picked the ace of spades. So that's pretty simple. And the easiest one of all, if they do happen to pick the ace of diamonds, then the order of the cards won't have, they're not going to be changed because they have all these. This is facing down, this is facing down, this is facing up, and the ace of diamonds remain the same. So that one's the easiest. I hope this trick works out for you guys. Let me know down in the comments, and as always. Alright guys, today I'm going to be giving a shout out to the Ministry of Magic channel. You guys probably seen their comments down below. And also, quick thing, this is probably going to be my last upload just for a little bit because you know, there's a hurricane coming through and I do live in Florida, so I'm probably going to be out of power for a while, and it's probably going to, you know, take me a second to get, you know, back into the swing of things. But I just want to let you guys know this is going to be my last video for a while because I don't know when I'm going to get internet after tonight. So anyways, make sure to check out the Ministry of Magic channel. They're really, really good, and I would highly advise you to stick around, watch the video here. The trick really did surprise me as well, so here is the video, guys.
Alright, so this is the Ministry of Magic, and it is my honor to do a collab with Hester23BearCH. He's probably one of the most famous magicians on YouTube, so thank you, Hester. And this is my favorite opener trick because it just grabs all the attention from the audience right away. So here's what the trick looks like. I'm gonna just get around half of the pack, it does not really matter, and I'll just use these cards. And right now I'll give these cards a bit of a mix-up, so they're in random order. I'll place some on top, place some on bottom, place some on top, and place some on bottom. And the spectator could do this as well. He can shuffle the pack, but just to make it completely random, some cards go on top, some cards go on bottom, and I'll give the deck one more cut. Actually, I'll just keep cutting on until the spectator is satisfied, and if the spectator won, he can cut it himself. He can just mix these cards up a bit, and let's say spectator is satisfied right now. So I'll just give the deck a one last cut to make sure everything is random. Now I'll deal down 9 cards. So just like that, 9 cards in any random order, and the spectator can either say no or yes as I go through these cards. So let's say spectator says no for first one. He said no again for the second one. He said yes for the third one. So I'll take the third card face up. He said yes again. He said no. He said no. He said yes. He said yes. And he said no. Okay, and these 2 cards, I'll just throw them out of here. And let's look at these cards. The 5 and a 4, no match. A 6 and a 5, no match. A 9 and a 6, no match. A 10 and a 9, no match. A 3 and a 10. Absolutely nothing between those cards, no connection, absolutely whatsoever. But you could have said yes anytime. You shuffle the cards, you could have cut the cards. But look, the card you say yes to, the red 8, turns to the black 8. The black ace, the red ace. The black 2, I need a mat. A red 2. And finally, the red 7, the black 7. The spectator could have shuffled, spectator could have cut, said yes anytime, said no anytime, but they actually found perfect match 4 times. So that is the trick, and here is the tutorial for the trick. So here is the tutorial for the trick. So later I'll teach you guys how to shuffle the pack in a way to make this trick work, how to do the yes or no thing, and how to let the spectator shuffle the pack. So before I start, here's the setup. So this is gonna be your deck, and as I said, this is my favorite opener trick, so this is probably not gonna be a trick I end with or go in the middle, because I usually have the setup on top. And so the setup is black, ace to 10, and the red ace to 10. You can do it in one suit, so you can say ace to 10 in all clubs and ace to 10 in all hearts. But because I just varied a bit, so it makes it look more random. So spades, club, diamond, heart, diamond, heart. It doesn't really matter as long as you have ace to 10. And remember, if you put the you have to make it in the specific order, or you can reverse both pile. So 10, 9, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and this pile has to be in that order as well. So, but this is the pile I like to have it, and usually when I start the trick, I just put this on top, and I look through the pile just randomly, and I catch a break, and I just break it off, and my trick is good to go. So you're only gonna use the top 20 cards, your ace to 10 from both colors. So now you'll give the deck a shuffle, but this is very important because if you don't shuffle correctly, the whole trick is gonna be messed up. So this is how you do the shuffle. You're gonna bring some cards over here. You're gonna use your pinky to push off some cards from the bottom, put it on top. Use your thumb to push up some cards from the top, put it on bottom. Do it again, pinky, some cards off the bottom, put it on top. Do the same until you run out of cards. And then you can do it once again if the spectator looks suspicious. So take some cards, use your pinky, break off some cards, put on top, some cards on bottom, some cards on top, some cards on bottom, some cards on top, some cards on bottom. I'll go over this one more time just to make sure you understand it. Take the top card so first you're gonna break the top card, so this is just gonna be over here. Then use your pinky to push off some bottom card, put it on top, push off some top card, put it on bottom, push off some bottom card, put it on top of the pile. Do the same until all the cards are done. So basically what you have right now is you're not gonna have A 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, A 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, but you're gonna have this. You're gonna have the ace to 10 in the middle, and the red ace is gonna be like 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9, 10. So that's okay. And you can give the deck a few cuts. Remember, the spectator should not riffle shuffle, so you can just ask the spectator to cut the cards anywhere. You can do a Charlie or you can do a Revolution, it does not really matter. And now the deck is not mixed up more, it's just still this, but this time it's ace 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is on this side. So the size doesn't matter, it's just make sure you have the order correct. So now, since it doesn't matter, you're just gonna deal down 9 cards. And this part you could honestly let the spectator do, because some spectator, they question if you have some like advanced sleight of hand, Hogwarts thingamajigs. So now I'm going to tell you guys how to do this part. So if the spectator say no, you're basically like, oh sir, just deal the top card down. If he says yes, this is what we're going to do. You're going to do a wrist kill, meaning turn your wrist. And as you're doing this, you're going to use your thumb to push it down. So as you're doing it, push it down. You're not going to take this card and put it up. Instead, when you push it down, you're gonna take this card. So I'll do it in the exposed view, okay? So take the second to top card, and make sure you slide this card down so you can take the second to top card up. So let's say spectator say no, just take the top card, put it face down. Spectator say yes. Remember, use your thumb, push down the top card. Do a wrist kill, then take the second from top, deal it down. Say yes. Let's say he say yes again. Say no. Say no. And the final 2 cards, they can just go anywhere, it does not really matter. And you're just gonna reveal first that the ones he said no to, there's absolutely no connection between them. And the ones he said yes to, you actually found the perfect soulmates, the same number to each and every one of them. So that is the trick. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, make sure you guys comment something down below, and thank you, Hester, for having me on your channel once again.
Alright guys, so today I'm going to be showing you a really cool card trick. I ended up seeing this trick. I was on YouTube, and on the right hand side where it says recommended videos, this video popped up there, and the title was probably the world's best card trick, and obviously had to look at it. And I'll be honest with you, it definitely wasn't the best card trick. It was pretty cool.
but it wasn't the best. But anyways, guys, I'll show you the performance and then obviously show you guys how to do it as well. All right, so here's how you would start off the trick. You could go ahead and have the spectator pick any card they want to. Let's say in this case, this is going to be your guys' card for the trick. And essentially, you would just tell me when to stop whenever you want. So let's say you just said stop right around here, right? You go ahead, you put the spectator's card in the middle of the deck, and then you keep shuffling up the deck as well. All right, so in the performance, when the kid does the trick, he basically just keeps doing an overhand shuffle a whole bunch of times, and then the spectator tells him when to stop, but he does this really cool hot shot move that I can't do. So I'm going to do a little bit of a different ending. Essentially, I would have the spectators tell me when to stop for another time. Let's say we go through the deck, and they said stop right around here. All right. So after this, after all this shuffling, you tell your spectator, okay, I have no idea where your card is. I have no breaks, right? So you go ahead, you say, all right, go ahead and tell me when to stop for another time. And let's say the spectator goes through, they say stop right around here. You take the card out, and this should be the spectator's chosen card. And that is a trick, and then I'll show you guys how to do it. Alright, so here's how you guys would be able to do the trick. So the good part is it doesn't really require a lot of sleight of hand. It just basically, the only thing is one overhand shuffle or one false overhand shuffle, and that's pretty much the entire trick, right? So you go ahead and you have the spectator pick any card that they want to, and let's say in this case it's a 10 of hearts, right? So you go ahead and what you do is tell your spectator to tell you when to stop, and all you're doing is a regular overhand shuffle. And the moment they tell you to stop, I'll leave the card right here. You're doing a, all you have to do is control this card to the top, right? But you're making it look like you're shuffling it back into the deck. So all you do is right after you place their card in the middle of the deck, you take one more card and you purposely out jog it. As you guys can see, it's farther out than the rest of the cards, and then you can just do the rest, complete the rest of the cards. And then what you do, you can continue to overhand shuffle the cards to make it look like the cards are kind of leaning in this direction. That way they can't see from the top that you actually have this out jog card right here. So right above this out jog, all you have to do is take your thumb and your middle finger, push up into the card, and then close the grip, and that's going to cause the deck to form a break right here. And all you do is pick up from the break, and that's going to be how you bring the spectator's card to the top. So in real time, you have the spectator's card, they go ahead, they say stop. Let's say they said stop right around here. You go ahead, you take their card, and you go ahead and leave a nice little out jog card like this, and just like that, you brought their card to the top. Now the next step is to bring it to the bottom. All you have to do is pull off the top card and then continue shuffling like normal. And then from here, you do a bunch of bottom retention overhand shuffles, keeping that card on the bottom. So essentially, once you're in this position, once you've controlled that card to the bottom, all you gotta do is hold on to it with the pads of these 3 bottom fingers of the overhand shuffle. It looks like this. So you're doing a normal overhand shuffle, except for you're holding on to the bottom card right there with your 3 fingers, and it's going to stay on the bottom, and you keep doing that about 3 or 4 times. The spectators are not going to really notice you holding on to that bottom card throughout the entire shuffle. So you can do this, like I said, 3 or 4 times. And at this point in the trick, in the performance of the actual video, the kid says, go ahead and tell me when to stop again, and then he does a hot shot, which, like I said, guys, I can't do personally, so I just did a slip force. But from here, what you want to do is bring the card back up to the top. So you can do you can just overhand shuffle the cards, and then don't do the bottom retention, and then just bring up that single card all the way back up to the top. And then what I did in the performance was a slip force. Essentially, with their card being on top, you make it look like you're grabbing a card from the middle, but in reality, all you're doing is just grabbing the top card, and it looks like it came from the middle. So I'll leave a link on the screen so you guys can learn how to do that. You guys can also do the bonsai spin out production if you want to. It's completely up to you. There's tons of different productions you guys can actually do. But like I said, I'll leave a link on the screen for the spin out. Or I mean, not the spin out. I can do that too. But I'll leave a link for the slip force. And like I said, guys, that pretty much concludes the trick. Best of luck.